Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. This is Running on Empty Food Review. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Well, Taco Bell, they've got another one for you. The Double Cheesy Gordita Crunch. And first, let me just give you a brief explanation of what it is that we're going to be trying out today. Hopefully trying out. I don't see why I wouldn't be trying out this item, but the Double Cheesy Gordita Crunch. And I think the Cheesy Gordita Crunch is an iconic item from Taco Bell, right? That we all love. We can't live without it, right? Everyone has to have those Gordita Crunches to survive. This is the double one. Well, this isn't a very confusing name. You know, sometimes like they'll give a really fancy, spectacular name to something, mostly for showmanship. This is not that. What it literally is, it's a Gordita Crunch that just comes with seasoned beef, 3-cheese blend, spicy ranch sauce, and lettuce, and then double, right? They add an extra helping of beef, and a little bit more of the cheese that everyone likes, and then they put, you know, more of a fluffy tortilla around it. So it's like a Gordita Crunch wrapped around with another tortilla, which is a little bit more of everything, hence the name Double Cheesy Gordita Crunch. So we know what it is. It's pretty, you know, down to basics, as one could say. $3.49 is the price for this. Now, the reason why I wanted to get right to the point is because I want to be honest with you here. I want to be proven wrong today. I want to be just shot out of the water. And I want to be proven wrong so badly. Because I'll be straight up right now. I haven't gone to Taco Bell very much, and I haven't had much of an appetite for Taco Bell. The other day, I've been going to Taco Bell, and, you know, one location to the next, and the quality of the food has been very disappointing to me, and, you know, they've kind of, it's harsh to say, but they've almost lost me as a customer, because, you know, sometimes I see the quality of the food, and it gets lower and lower, and I'm just left disappointed. There are some times where I'll get something and I can't even eat it, you know, it's so gross, you know, I look at it and I can't get myself to take a bite. And it's sad, but it's just something that I wanted to just bring to the table outright, because I like to be impartial, you know, I like to be fair, but at the same time, I just want to get that out there. I want to make those thoughts known, that, you know, I've been having some recent disappointments with Taco Bell, and today with this Double Cheesy Gordita Crunch, I want to be proven wrong. I want to have an item today that says to me, you know what? You might have had some bad experiences in the past. You still might have some bad experiences. But listen, we're still capable of making a new, good, and tasty product. And you know, that's not saying that I hate everything from Taco Bell. I always like getting the Baja Blast no matter what. The nacho fries, of course, are, you know, they've been a little hit or miss lately, but they're pretty cool. And the Cinnabon Delights, always very good as well. But anyway, you know, we just want to try out the new item. Try it out we shall. How about that? So, here it is. And right now, we're going to need a couple extra napkins for it, I will tell you that. Because it has a little bit of leakage. And as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to lie to you, I got a little bit of beef drippings on my pants, but that's something that can be washed out anyway, so we'll let them slip with that one. If I was in a bad mood, you know, who knows, but we'll continue onward. I think I'm just going to lay the whole bag down and we'll go from there. I think number one, what you can expect with this Double Gordita Crunch is that it is a very, very messy product, so to speak. Not necessarily something that you would want to eat while you're at work, or while you're, you know, if you have a uniform, or if you're dressed well for a job, maybe don't eat it. But you can see there it is, you know. Again, impartiality, but presentation could be a little better. You know, it looks like a very sloppy mess, quite frankly. And, you know, to tell you the truth, again, as I said, I've had my bad experiences with them, but looking into the meat, at just the base of it here, it just, it doesn't really give me the motivation to bite into it very much. That's all that I can say. You know, it doesn't. Like, I just see that pool of juice and brine or whatever it might be, and, you know, I don't know what it is. I really don't. So I'm not going to bite that end, because honestly, I don't want to. I don't feel compelled to in the least. I don't have the urge to. It grosses me out. This end looks a lot nicer for the camera, so I'll show it to you there. You can see that's what it looks like, and there I am with it. So anyway, you know what's on it. I know what's on it. We all know what's on it. And very, very, very messy, but hopefully it'll still taste good, so it won't be a total loss. Going in. And you know, about the spillage, it is what it is. I mean, that's life, you know, that's just what happens, and it's something that can easily be washed out. If anything, dry cleaned. It's not the end of the world, you know. It's not like all of a sudden a pair of scissors dropped out of the Gordita Crunch and cut my suit in two or anything, so not the end of the world there. One more bite for you. Have to just use the entire bag as our towel, so to speak. It looks, you know, it's not the most camera-friendly thing, right? I think we know that right off the bat. But how, and you might see me just adjusting this very briefly. There, it's better, just because of the lighting and the glare. How does it taste? Well, I'll tell you this. They say cheesy Gordita Crunch. Double cheesy Gordita Crunch. Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Supposed to be cheesy. And it was, I guess, beefy, you know. I mean, one can, of course, make the argument that it's not, you know, that's not real beef or whatever. But I'm just moving this closer to combat the glare. The issue that I have, and I'm just going to concisely say it, not enough cheese. People like their cheese, they want their cheese. I myself am not a cheese fiend or cheese fiasco. There wasn't enough cheese. You look at the images of it, you look at the advertisements of it, it's smothered in cheese. There's cheese everywhere. There's cheese in the thing, there's cheese in the shell between it. It's seeping with cheese. There were a few little pieces of the grated cheese or whatever, the little cheese strips, the cheap stuff. And that's it. Beef, maybe, there was a bit of that. But people, when they get that, I guarantee you, they want something that's cheesy. This was not that. It was extremely messy. Don't eat it in the car, I'll tell you that. If you do, maybe wear a bib or just go ahead and just buy some, you know, overalls. Like if you want to paint something, just wear that, because this thing is going to, as soon as you open it, the thing is going to explode on you. I guarantee you that. If you work in an office, a white collar environment, you have to wear a suit or a dress or something nice, just don't even order it, because you're going to ruin your outfit. Don't even do it. You work it, you know, you have to wear a uniform or something nice, just don't even get it. Alright? Or put a towel on your lap or something, because it's extremely messy. It's not very picturesque. It's not cheesy. Was there anything good to say about it? Well, there was more beef on it than I was expecting, at the expense of the cheese, though. And I could taste that spicy ranch that was there. I could taste it. It was definitely, you know, it was definitely present, and I could taste that spiciness. That's why I was going for the Baja Blast there. But for an item that is so required on just so few components, you know, the cheese, the beef, the lettuce, and the spicy ranch, not a lot of lettuce, barely any cheese, so much beef, or should we really say liquid filler, that was there, extremely messy. Does it taste okay? Sure. But I don't think it's what people really want when they go ahead and order this. And that, keeping that in mind, out of 10, I'm going to be giving this a 5.5 out of 10. Because while it's acceptable, it's not going to be something that you're going to be vomiting back up. I don't think many customers would be very appreciative of something that would have just that possible tendency to, number one, just be extremely messy, and number two, is severely lacking on the primary ingredient upon which it's supposed to have. I think that's disappointing, and they need to work on it. They need to get their act together. This isn't as bad as some of the previous experiences I've had with Taco Bell. I will say that. You know, it's certainly more edible than some of the things I've had. But unfortunately, they missed the mark yet again. That's the review. That's all that I have for you. Keep that in mind, you know? Go ahead, order. I know it's not the most expensive thing in the world, but, you know, just bear that in mind, that you might not necessarily get what you asked for. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again in a couple days with another video. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Hope you enjoy the review.